Hey Doodlers, how are you doing? Well, all this week I am at the Pencil Museum in Cumbria in England, in Keswick, and I am going to be showing people how to use crayons, pencils, all sorts of stuff made by Derwent Pencils. And so today I'm using Derwent watercolour pencils. And that means that the colour in the pencil is actually, it's like a solid block of watercolour paint. So as you put it down, it's like you're putting it down like a pencil, but it's actually you're putting kind of watercolour down. So let's see what happens. I'm going to draw a kind of a children's book illustration. So this is kind of a mum, I suppose, something like that. And I'll give her a bit of a fringe, and her hair is sort of coming out like that. She's got beady eyes and a nice big smile, and there's her neck. And now I'm going to change colour, and I'm going to change to a blue, because I'm going to draw her dress. And what I want to do is now I'm going to change the colour, because I want the dress to be kind of a blue stripy kind of pattern. And I'm going to watercolour it in, but I don't want it sort of blending in with the brown. Actually, this is terracotta, this colour. So I know I want to have a hand coming in about here now. So I'm going to have her arm kind of like that, and then we'll have a hand there. And I suppose the detail that you can get in depends on how sharp you have your pencil, but they do kind of, you know, sort of you lose the point quite quickly. So you're either going to be sharpening all the time, or you kind of develop your style according to your materials like that. So that's quite a big hand. Never mind. Now I'm going to carry on with the blue and give her this kind of dress like that, and I'm going to put a kind of crisscross pattern on this dress. So we'll go like that, and I'm curving it slightly to give it a kind of a feeling of curvature. So using the pattern to help curve the material of the dress. And then we'll go back the other way. So I suppose you need a little bit of kind of forward planning, just to think about which colours you're going to use. And then we'll have a leg coming down here. And sensible shoes. Oh, there, I was pressing too hard there, so I've broken the colour. But I wasn't really thinking ahead, so I think she's going to have brown shoes. I was thinking she might have matching blue shoes, but I'm going to give her brown shoes instead. So I'm going to put quite a lot of colour down like that, but leave a little stripe of white as well for the highlight. Now for her skin tone, I'm going to just kind of colour in very roughly. This is cadmium yellow. And so you don't need to be, you know, absolutely precise. Obviously, if you go over the lines, then you go over the lines. But you don't need to sort of cover every single area, because we're going to do that with a brush in just a moment. And I think I'm going to give her orange hair. And I'm going to leave a little kind of shiny strip across there, which is going to be, well, shininess. Give her a nice shiny hair. So now we come to use the water brush, and this is a Derwent water brush. The water is in the handle, and it kind of goes through the brush, so you don't have to go off and find a jam jar and fill it full of water. The water is always there. And I'm going to start off. You can see that the water is flowing down. It's kind of picking up the colour on the page and using it, spreading it out, kind of like watercolour. Well, it is watercolour. And then here, then we can do the same with the face. So we're kind of moving that cadmium yellow around a little bit. And I see I went over the edge there with the blue, and I can just wash that away there. And then we can just wash in the flesh tone here. And this is where it gets exciting, because I'm going to start with the blue on this side. So I'm picking up colour and washing it across, but I'm not going to take it right the way across. So I'm going to leave it kind of fresh and white on the other side, because that's where the light is, I suppose. So we're going to get a little bit of kind of shade gradation, and then I can go over these lines again and kind of darken them up a bit later. Like I'm feeling we want maybe a little bit more there, maybe a little bit there, and a little bit there. And we might want a bit more just sort of across there as well. So let's see how that goes. Oh, probably a bit too much. So you can always add more afterwards, remember that. Oh, we need a bit more shade under there. So yeah, let's have a bit more shade under there. Maybe I could add a bit under the lip. And here we're going to need a little bit of shade. The dress is creating a bit of shade there, and the dress is creating shade under there and there. And while we're at it, let's go and do these shoes. And you can kind of pull the colour to the edge and still slightly change the shape of what you've drawn by kind of, putting the colour across with the brush like that. Now I haven't got all day to wait around, so I'm using my hairdryer to dry that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some extra. And you'll find it's, you have to get to know your pencils. Some colours are softer than others, and some work, some are quite hard, so they all have their own kind of textures and styles. And you just have to, it's any art medium that you're using, you have to kind of get used to them and get to know your materials. So now I'm going to add a little bit of brown in here, I think, just to darken that up. And I'm going to darken up the eyes there again as well. I think we've got this kind of little halo here, which is kind of looking a bit like a kind of a hairband or something. Let's see if I can just kind of wash that away somehow. There, yeah, that's not too bad. That's getting there, yeah. Good. Now we've got a grey here that we could use, so I'm just going to add that, and maybe just a bit sort of darker in there. And then I'm going to sharpen up and define the dress here by using dark blue, and just kind of, it's just defining it that bit more, and then just sort of going over and darkening up, but not all the way, just this kind of side here where it's been washed away a bit. And we've used what we've washed away, we have used to add shade to the whole picture, so we can maybe put a bit of dark blue in under there as well. And so we're kind of adding more modelling and form to the drawing by adding that in there. And we could maybe add a little bit more to the shoe, add a kind of a sole to the shoe there, and maybe just slightly darker under there. I'm going to find that grey again. And do you remember I made this little mistake here with that, where it broke? Well, you see, you can just wash it out. And you can get various effects by kind of bringing the colour up to a point and leaving it, and sort of leaving a kind of a crisp line. So can you see there, it's leaving a line at the edge, so you can bring that up to the edge of the shoe, and which kind of creates an extra kind of crisp line on the shoe there. I suppose we could just finish this off with just a horizon line. And there you go, how to draw a children's bookish style kind of illustration with watercolour pencils. Thanks for watching, and you can support this channel and get so much more on my Patreon page. Click to find out more. Make sure you are subscribed to the Shu Raynor Drawing channel on YouTube, and in the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now, bye bye.